Sometimes it's easy to forget that the pirate-themed world of One Piece is also packed with a fair share of classic science fiction tropes, with one of the most prominent ones being clones. This concept may have recently been introduced into the story, but there already are a lot of relevant characters who were duplicated by using their genetic components. To make things even more interesting, some of these clones were further enhanced with new abilities that the original person didn't have, as was seen with the pacifistas and the seraphim. The following characters are some of the best implementations of this trope that can be found within Eiichiro Oda's One Piece. Number 7. Germa 66's Army, cloned from their strongest soldiers. Despite cloning being a major plot thread in the current Egghead Island arc, it's easy to forget that this concept was first introduced during the Whole Cake Island arc, in the form of Germa 66's clone soldiers. This makes a lot of sense, seeing as Vinsmoke Judge is a former mad scientist who specializes in genetics and body modification. Judge came up with the idea of cloning the strongest soldiers from the Germa Kingdom in order to create an army of disposable warriors who will do his bidding. This was such a wickedly clever idea that Big Mom herself was interested in forming an alliance with Germa 66 just to get access to this army of clones. Nevertheless, these clone soldiers are pretty much devoid of personality, so they're bland characters whose main purpose is to act as fodder and nothing more. Number 6. The Pacifista, cloned from Bartholomew Kuma. The legendary Dr. Vegapunk is also extremely knowledgeable about cloning techniques and, when he met Bartholomew Kuma, he came up with a brilliant idea. He could use him as the basis for his army of clones with cybernetic enhancements, especially because he could take advantage of Kuma's strong buccaneer genes. The results of this experiment were named the Pacifista, deadly weapons of war that were immediately seized by the world government. The moment these powerful clone cyborgs popped up in the story, it was apparent that they were insurmountably strong, since it was almost impossible for Luffy and his crew to defeat just one, let alone an entire army of them. Furthermore, the Pacifista were also an important part of the Marineford War, since they made up most of the Marines' forces. But their most endearing appearance was in the current Egghead Island arc, when they began following Bonnie's orders and turned on the Marines who deployed them in the first place. Number 5. S-Bear, cloned from Bartholomew Kuma. It's most likely that Bartholomew Kuma holds the title of the most cloned character in all of One Piece, since not only is there an entire army of Pacifista carrying his genes, but there's also S-Bear, who is one of the Seraphim. These are a group of biological weapons who are clones of the former warlords of the sea, with some Lunarian lineage factor mixed in. S-Bear is significantly stronger than a regular Pacifista, not only because of his Lunarian properties, which make him faster and more resistant, but he also has access to Kuma's very own Nikyu Nikyu no Mi, which he can use to fast travel or to replicate the powerful Ursus shock technique. All of this means that S-Bear is basically a younger and more resistant version of Kuma, which is quite menacing. Number 4. S-Shark, cloned from Jinbei. Another one of the Seraphim that was introduced during the Egghead Island arc was S-Shark, a clone of the former warlord of the sea and current Straw Hat pirate, Jinbei. This means that he not only has Lunarian and cyborg properties, but that he's also part fish man, which gives S-Shark an interesting advantage when compared to his peers. Being the genius that he is, Dr. Vegapunk implemented the artificial green blood he created in order to give S-Shark the powers of Senor Pink's Sway Sway no Mi, meaning that he can take advantage of his fishman lineage and swim around on solid surfaces and even use fishman karate without needing to be near water. Thanks to all of these components, S-Shark is quite the dangerous fighter, not to mention that the fact that he was cloned from Jinbei led to some hilarious interactions with the Straw Hat pirates. Number 3. S-Hawk, cloned from Dracule Mahawk. Dracule Mahawk is not only the strongest swordsman in the One Piece world, but he was also one of the strongest warlords of the sea back when it was working with the world government. So it makes a lot of sense that they'd be interested in cloning him in order to create a living weapon based on him. The final result of this process is the Seraphim known as S-Hawk. So far, S-Hawk has been portrayed as the most ruthless and dangerous of all the Seraphim, thanks to his cold personality and impeccable sword skills. On top of that, he also has Lunarian properties, and he doesn't even need a sword to properly fight, since he can transform parts of his body into blades thanks to the powers of the Supa Supa no Mi that he can use via the green blood running in his artificial veins. There's no question that S-Hawk is one of the most powerful clones in the entire series, and he's an important asset for the world government. Number 2. S-Snake, cloned from Boa Hancock. All the weaponized clones in One Piece have so far been portrayed as cold warriors with no personality. But there has been one exception, S-Snake, the Seraphim clone of Boa Hancock, who has shown that she has an extravagant personality that is extremely similar to the woman she is based on. This even extends to her interactions with Monkey D. Luffy, as S-Snake seems to act in an affectionate manner towards the pirate. The introduction of S-Snake to the series is fascinating because it proposed a lot of different questions about cloning. Can these living weapons have a personality? And furthermore, can the genetic source of these prominent characters carry their feelings onto their cloned replicas? There still are a lot of mysteries surrounding this topic, but S-Snake has managed to defy expectations. And, as expected, she's also a strong fighter who can use the powers of Hancock's Mero Mero no Mi thanks to her green blood. Number 1. Stussy, cloned from Miss Buckingham Stussy. The team of scientists known as MAD spent years trying to create a perfect clone, and their first success was based on one of their members, Miss Buckingham Stussy. This is a perfect clone that looks and acts exactly like the original person, to the point that she also carries the name Stussy. Although it seems like she doesn't age at all, seeing as the clone has a youthful appearance, while the original Stussy is an old woman nowadays. Stussy is undoubtedly the best clone character in One Piece because the moment that her origin was revealed was one of the most shocking and unexpected plot twists in the series. Vegapunk was clever enough to make Stussy infiltrate CP0 in order to spy on the world government for years, which proved to be quite a crucial endeavor. But even after she accomplished her lifelong objective, Stussy has shown to be quite a three-dimensional character who has grown to be fond of her fellow CP0 members and who is also looking for a reason to keep living. When it comes to her special abilities, Stussy has been shown to be able to transform into a vampire-like being, although it's currently unknown if this was also something that Buckingham Stussy could do as well, or if this power was later incorporated by Dr. Vegapunk when he created her. And that's it for today folks, hope you like this video. Tell me in the comment box, which clone character is your favorite from the series. Thanks for watching, see you in next video. And also, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, we are so close to 800 subscribers. So please, smash.